Yes, we have another two brilliant games coming up, starting with Inertia versus Copium, and then going into Catjam versus Terdoug immediately afterwards. Inertia and Copium will be going head to head on Mastermind, Nurse, and Demogorgon to see who goes forward to face Silence in the next round. But before all that, I'd like to introduce my co-caster here, Starzee. How are you doing today, and are you excited for these games?
Oh man, it's been so long since I've casted, so I'm keen to get back into it. I'm honestly, if I have to be giving my personal bias, I'm mostly excited to see the first set, which is Mastermind, which we're starting out with score. I'm always excited to see Green Dean on the Mastermind to see what he can pull out. Feel like he can really dance to some of the better teams there. So excited to see what he can do. But it looks like we're taking our first chase up the top side, and I do believe we see our Nier, which was boosted here. Yes, it is. We are going to use that power, just go straight through that window and boosted. Just going to be running this 12 side. And I'm sure his team would just be heading down to the bottom of the map, trying to get that gen value as quickly as possible. But Boosted gets a nice drop here. Actually, might be able to make some distance here as we see Chase Music drop for just a second. Is able to make the window vault, and Green Dean just opting to get rid of these main resources to head back up towards 12 boosted, running back up here again. This is a decent starting chase.
Green Dean really should have left this about 15-20 seconds earlier. This is not the chase you ever want to be committing to on the top side of the map when everyone has already started flooding your gen's bottom. Now he's recognizing he's leaving, but there's already likely going to be a lot of pressure on 9 and that top mid gen too. Now we see the chase starting onto Cooney here, who should be able to drop this pallet and make it all the way back towards the top side again. Yeah, a brutal stun there, a little bit of a disrespect T-pose there, and now he's heading towards 10.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Cooney also playing really well at the start of the game. First gen is done. A hit has not come through there. Green Dean moving a little bit slowly, but no, we see the first hit coming through. Actually thrown almost to edge map. Is able to get away down towards 9 here. We're going to try and get some distance. Hopefully we can use this 4-wall to our advantage, but that was a very nice hit on Green Dean. Looks like we are just going to opt to break this straight away. Cooney, a little bit slow in the reaction times there, actually. Might be going down very soon.
Yeah, absolutely beautifully played there from Green Dean. This should be the down, but a dodge coming through from Cooney, just about getting away and heading towards 7. But the egg getting value and confirming the first down of the trial there.
Yeah, I'd be pretty gutted if I was Cooney there, getting down by what was clearly the egg add-on there. But I guess that's why Green runs it, and it really ended up coming in well for him there. Now, as we see, only that first gen has been done, so Green Dean probably going to try and look around to see what he can get. We have had a Scourge Hook come through, though, so that was very, very good for Green Dean, being able to get that down right on the Scourge Hook.
Oh, absolutely. It does mean that the agitation pick hasn't yet brought any value to the game, but nonetheless, this is a very nice position to be in terms of the bottom side gens. However, straying a little bit too far from the hook here is going to allow Boosted to save, and now Cooney is just legging it towards this main building. It's going to be very difficult to stop him now. He has this pallet available, and after this down, the gen pressure should just be far too high on Shaq without Pop Goes the Weasel to bring the game back.
I completely agree with that, but we see Cooney taking the chase towards 11 here. Will be going down quite quickly. Not much you can do when you zone yourself out there, but we are going to see the hook coming in on the 12 side as well. And do we actually have a 3 gen up here still? We've got the 12 and 1 gen. Do we have something at 11?
We do indeed, but this gen is scarily high with no Pop Goes the Weasel. Even though you have a sort of 3 gen top, you have 9, 12, and of course 1 here, that gen is far too high. There's never going to be realistically a chance for you to defend that unless Green Dean makes a big, big mistake here and goes towards the bottom side, just gives up the gen.
Yeah, that's right. Green Dean can be pretty aggressive here. With this hook up the top side, this is the perfect hook for Green Dean. Being able to keep them all the way behind main is just so difficult for the Survivors to make a play on. But if they were able to pop that 1 gen, this would really turn the tides of the game. But regardless, we're going to see if we can just protect Cooney here by just proxying them out of the game, and definitely the right play here as they are. The tunnel out looks like we see Boosted coming in, will get the unhook, will go down for it. Looks like we're probably going to opt to chase Cooney here. We are, as Boosted stays on the ground. Really nice play by Boosted there, just being able to sneak in and pull out that unhook.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if going for this save is even worth it. We know that 1 is super high, we know that Shaq has just popped, and more than likely there's a third survivor No, there won't be because Boosted's on the floor. So Boosted will get picked up, the Gen on 1 will go, but in exchange you are getting the elimination on Cooney. I personally would have valued the pain res on Boosted a little bit more, but with how fast this down came through, I think Green Team will just about get away with it here.
Yeah, well, now that we can opt to use this 12 hook once again, Cooney is out of the game here. Boosted's still on the ground. We see, as you said, we will see another gen popping, and that one gen is still there as well. So that probably has a fair bit of progress. I'm assuming, no, we're not going to opt to hook on one. It looks like all the gens get done. The Survivors extremely efficient with their time as we see that 8-gen pop.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about there. That's why it's obviously a lot less low risk to just take the pain res on Boosted. You know that their gen pressure is really high, and having that down could allow you to get some more fresh hooks later in the game. But with Boosted, oh no, the adrenaline is just brutal here. Green Dean is now fighting for his life to get even 4 stages with all 3 survivors healthy, and survivors now starting to work the doors.
No way out or anything like that. No Noah going to help us here. Looks like we are going to try and take this chase onto Boosted. If we're very, very lucky, we can get it down here, but it's not looking likely at all. Probably just going to take an M1 here as we head down to this bottom gate. Green Team's going to have to try and knock him to the side. Is sort of able to do it, but there's just nothing that you can do here to get Boosted out of the game. Even if you have 2 rushes, the team is just going to protect him. That's right. And we see all the survivors leaving there. So we see a 4-hook game, I believe that was to start with. So not the best result for Green Dean, but we'll see what the Copium survivors can cook up as they head into the latter part of the Mastermind set. We'll be back with you soon. Welcome back, everyone, to DBO. Okay, where we are going to head into the second part of the Mastermind set as we saw Green Team end up with a 2 fresh 4-hook stage game there. So not exactly what you're looking for. So the survivors are going to have to play pretty on point here to avoid giving the set away. But regardless, we are going to hopefully see a close game come through. Doug, when you're looking for what is ideally a 3-stage, I mean, how do you even approach that? Do you just try and replicate that first chase that was up at 12?
You realistically need the killer to make some sort of mistake if you want to get a result like this against them. So what you're going to need is you're going to need perfect play from the survivors, great coordination. You're probably going to need to go and take some hits against a killer like Wesker, who's generally not that easy to take hits against. And you're also going to need bad chase mechanics from the killer. But in this case, we have Boosted on the Mastermind, who more than knows what he's doing. So it is going to be incredibly difficult to meet this kind of result.
Yeah, I have to say, Boosted is a very respected killer, so it's going to be very, very difficult to pull out the 3-stage here, but guess we'll see what happens as we're starting to load in, and yeah, it's just going to be fighting for that 1K 3-stage. It's just something that first chase needs to go on for at least 2 minutes, and, you know, all those mistakes having to occur by the Wesker, it's something I think that Boosted will be able to navigate around. It should be relatively easy to avoid. But I suppose we'll see as we finally load in here, we are going to be seeing Boosted on the Mastermind. No surprise there as we see him head towards the top side of the map.
They have a solid agreement on the builds here, also going with the agitation instead of the pop goes the weasel, and now Boosted is going to try and scope out towards the right side to find someone who's crossing down too aggressively, and I think we do, but we see Nolzy nicely taking distance here and staying safe on the main building. Very good patience, and that's what you need with such a difficult result, as I think Smoky Hellfire was crossing down, but Boosted caught them and is now going to cut them off.
Yeah, looks like we actually see a couple of survivors here. We're able to see M as well and Smokey. Looks like we're going to opt for the chase on Smoky Hellfire. We'll be running back around 12. No gens would have high progress here, so we're happy to take this chase as we've got the drop pellet on the outside 12. We'll be breaking this. It's going to be very difficult to get away from without taking a hit. Looks like we're going to try and go for the window. We'll be taking a hit here. We'll be infected as well as we head over towards that 11 side to take the chase, and we're just going to get rid of some of these main resources to make the chase a little bit easier on ourselves.
Yeah, this is exactly where Smokey needs to be. The only problem is that even with main building, with a result like 3 stages is something that difficult to hit, or you can't even allow. Oh, and an amazing flick from Boosted there, coming right round the corner and getting the first down, and exactly what Copium cannot afford at this point in the game.
Yeah, this is exactly right.
Oh, no.
That first down happened a lot earlier. It looks like we are going to be opting to take the chase onto Yobro. No balanced here. We'll be giving a very, very quick hit as Yobro going to try and take the chase down bottom, I assume. Yes, we are. We're going to try and take it towards 9 as we head down. This is going to be very difficult to get away from first. Oh, no. We see the 2-tap there almost really not ending well for Yobro's chase there. That's already the second hook state that has come in. This is just falling apart very quickly for Copium.
Yeah, and this is brutal here. Boosted has so many options to win the game. He can go back to hook to cut off Smokey, or alternatively, he can just chase Nolzy here. And now he knows that there is nobody on generators. Maybe we'd see one of the other survivors rotating to the main building, but this chase here just means it's going to cost so much time, especially with Pain Res. 2 gens probably already regressing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As we see the chase come on to go on to Nosy there, slide straight through. Nosy going to try and get past to get to this 4-wall here, is unable to actually make it, thrown to edge map. Not really too much you can do there as Nosy does go down, and this will be the 3rd fresh hook, which actually means that we'll see the current tie condition, I believe, for Boosted here.
No, not quite yet. I think he'll need 1 more hook to get the win. He's currently on a loss, but with 3 hook stages and 3 fresh hooks at 5 gens, and the full infection onto Smokey and injure onto Yobro, his position can't really get much better than this.
Yeah, no, you're very happy. You're just looking for 1 more hook. The game's still at 5 gens. The chances of you throwing this are relatively low, to say the least, as especially we find, I believe this was Yobro, who is actually fully infected as well and stuck at 18 now. This is going to be very, very difficult to get away from. Looks like we're going to try and head down to bottom, take the chase towards a bit of a safer filler. We're trying to get behind a tree here, but no, we do take the down, and we will be seeing the hook come in onto Yobro, and that will be the set win for not Copium. That'll be the set win for Inertia.
Yeah, this is one of the more one-sided series we've seen so far in this tournament, with just, I think, Copium coming in on their pick, and then Boosted. This is not a killer you want to pick Mastermind into. He really knows how to play it. He really got an aggressive start with the flick on main at Smokey, and now the survivors are going to essentially have to do the best they can to not get 4K'd. But it's looking pretty bleak here, and I think Boosted has so many options to just play however he wants and chase whoever he wants to get this win.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to see the chase opting to take 12. So we've got 3 people still infected. Smokey just took a hit, will be dropping down to injured. And I really think that Boosted's just going to go for the 4K here. We do see a gen finally proccing. I do believe that was the 11 gen in the background. Looks like we find a reset as Nolzy was just healed. But Nolzy still fully infected, so might be able to actually go for a hit here. We've got the sprint burst coming in. We opt to take the chase onto Yobro instead, who's also fully infected, and Yobro will be going down. okay, Nolzy. Yobro will be going down there with the full infection, and that is the 3rd hook, turning this game into a 3v1 at 4 gens.
Yeah, we see Nolzy just having a bit of fun here, recognizing that the result is over, trying to essentially have a laugh with the killer here, dropping the Shack Pallet to try and have the best chase possible, but with that 8% slowdown and the 1 shot, it's never going to be easy to run a Wesker when all you have is a Seawall.
Yeah, no, this is a really rough situation for Nolzy to be in. Doesn't drop this pallet. Really well played here, trying to keep the chase alive just a little bit longer. Hopefully pop a few more gens. We see the pallet finally go down. Oh, that's a terrible spot to be. Doesn't go for the vault, but not much he can really do there. As we see the 2nd gen of the trial proc in the background, and Nolzy will be taking the hook here, down 7.
The main question to wonder here is whether the survivors will be able to get that 3rd generator out of the trial, or whether you see Boosted locking in a 4K3 here. Now, what I think Boosted really needs to do is head towards the top side and try and chase his last remaining Pain Res survivor, because if you can do that, then there's a very low chance of them being able to pop gens with Smokey injured. And just as I say that, we now see M taking the chase towards the middle of the map.
Looks like we're up to take the chase onto our Nancy here, and we will be trying to run this eye filler. I'm sure we're going to see the power coming out from Boosted soon. Honestly, probably just wants to get this pallet out of the way, but we are able to just slide around these corners. This tight pathing really helping us out here. Decides to go for one more rotation, and Boosted is starting to catch up. So I think we'll be seeing the drop here. Yes, we will. Decides to delay it a little bit, and we actually see Lithe coming here as well. He's able to get away. We see M taking the chase just a little bit longer, trying to have the longest game possible, trying to get another gen done. Buy time for Nosy, and we decide to opt to take the chase up to the one side of the map.
Oh, and that's a brutal throw to the corner. Boosted here, not happy with how that chase has played out, but with Nolsey dying on hook, I think that tells us that Smokey's been working this main building the whole time, and we should be seeing a 4K2 coming through here.
Boosted. Anyway, we're seeing Nolsey on the on the ground here. Will be getting hooked on this 12 side, and now we now we know where Smokey is. Another gen pop, so it turns into a 4K2, but now we just know exactly where Smokey is. Going to be very difficult to get away from this one.
Yeah, no, Smokey has no way out. He is a rat in a trap at this point, just going to go for the best chase he possibly can, just to try and get some more points, some more confidence going into our next set, which is the Nurse on Father Campbell's Chapel.
Yeah, looks like we'll be seeing the set lead. So, very well played by Inertia here. Copium, sadly, just not playing to their full potential, I suppose. Just Boosted putting up so much pressure in the early game. Being able to get those early downs just really, really pays off in dividends, especially when you're only looking for a 4-hooker game with 3 freshers. It's getting 1 or 2 early hooks, it just changes the game completely. But regardless, that will be this set done. So we see the set lead will go towards Inertia here as we head on to the next set, which I believe will be Nurse. So stay around for that, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Welcome back in, everybody, to our second set here. After just seeing a decisive win by Inertia and Boosted on the Mastermind, we are now going into Inertia's pick, their home territory here of the Nurse on Father Campbell's Chapel. Boosted coming out, ready to show us his stuff. Meanwhile, Copium fighting for their lives and fighting to not get sent down to the losers bracket here. Who do you think is going to take this set, Starzee? Do you think there's any way Copium can come back against a monster like Boosted? And where do you see this going?
You know, if I have to be completely honest, I'd be putting in my my chips on Boosted's Nurse here. Look, I know that there's always a chance to see upsets because we have seen them a lot recently as well. We've seen 2 very, very recent upsets, but I do think that this is going to be very difficult for Copium to pull back around. But hey, let's see what they can do as we spawn in. We'll be seeing Boosted spawn in on the top side, coming down from Carnival to see if he can find an early chase on the side as well. We see that his build, okay, is Pop, Hangman's Trick, Rancor, and Corrupt. I don't see Hangman's Trick too often, but interesting to see in the comp setting.
Hangman's Trick is a very rare perk where if you end up picking someone up, you can see people's auras around hooks, which on Nurse can give you an extremely valuable amount of information, especially concerning maybe a Deliverance player setting up for the save. We see the first tag coming onto Nolsey, but that is the lucky break, so I think Nolsey's going to be very difficult to track. Boosted just unable to do so, opting to leave and chase Yobro towards the middle of the map, and going for an ambitious 12 meter that just about does not land. But with that said, this is still a pretty good start for Copium here.
You know, only Nosy took the first hit. We do see the chase opting down onto Yobro. Wants to go down to the bottom of the map. This is where you want to be taking the chase away from the gens that are currently being done. Yobro does take a hit, is able to make a bit of distance, but Boosted. Oh, we are going to see Yobro opting just to go to the corner of the map here, and will be taking the quick down as we are going to see. Yeah, we are going to see the Hangman's Trick value not giving too much actually.
No, not in this case. The death location here was exactly where you want to die. You really want to die towards the bottom side, just so that your survivors can flood the top side gens. And I imagine now we should see a lot of pressure on, yeah, we see our first gen popping, but the Rancor now giving away Nolzy, who's been stealthing bottom side this entire time. And we know both other survivors are top side from that Rancor proc. This is really bad for Copium here, Starzee. What do you think they're going to do to get out of this one?
I'd be so gutted if I was Rancor. Sorry, if I was Nosy there, because you don't really know that he's running it, and at the moment it procs, you just go, "Oh God, no!" and you take the instant down. That is truly, truly rough for Copium here. But I think it's very easy to boost it. Just to, yeah, exactly. I'd be doing a very similar thing, just sitting on this side of the map and protecting both the hook, and you've also got Nosy on the ground on the same side. It's very easy for you just to sit here and
We
really
see a survivor
abuse that
running in
vision
here.
you got.
Now, is this our Deliverance player? We see M running in, trying to get the save, taking a tag, and now going for the trade on Yobro. As we do not see Nolzy picked up. M is just going to get slugged, and Boosted is going to go straight for the tunnel on Yobro here, which means Smokey will now be able to pick up both slugs and somewhat recover the game. However, definitely not a nice position to be in. Boosted actually tracking the light perfectly. Yobro running back into M. This is a huge mistake here. And I think that Copium are now just going to need to try and get as many gens done as possible to avoid getting 4K'd on too many gens.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Nurse often does quite well in comp, so would be interesting to see if they can pull it back to at the very least a 4K1 to try and abuse a 3-gen in the next game. But Boosted playing very well right now. You've got two survivors on the ground. Yobro right here as well. I'm not sure whether M would have gotten that deli
Yeah, we
prop.
see an Unbreakable here as well from M. I think that would have been the Deliverance because of the light being activated. But with the Unbreakable used, Boosted does have its second stage, but the survivors aren't in as bad shape as they were before.
Yeah, I suppose not, but we still do have two injured. It looks like we are going to find Nosy here. Will be trying to take the chase to the top side and is automatically turned back to bottom. Tries to get away here, trying to use the seawall utilization, but won't be able to work too much out of it. Actually, it looks like we're opting to go back to man. We're actually heading back to hook. Nosy is able to get away here. It looks like we're going to try and stop the unhook.
Boosted was... Maybe no, we see two people on that gen. Okay, that's a double then. Boosted now knows with Rancor the information he has that he can start to roam. Now, Nolzy there was being incredibly risky because if Boosted hit that blink and he gets slugged again, it would be looking like 4K3, 4K2 territory here. Now, there's a chance for them to recover, but they need Smoky Hellfire here, our ace, to go for the trade, which he indeed is. And unfortunately taking the hit there just by the last pixel, and now taking the down. And Yobro needs to do something special here.
Yeah, that was a fair idea by Smokey there, actually waiting out the unhook, tried to avoid the hit, but sadly just didn't end up going in our favor. Looks like we're going to see Yobro using the light there, tries to find him, actually drops a bit early, and we do see that he's just going to opt to go for the final chase on Yobro, will be taking the down there, and that is going to be the third hook on our Dwight here.
Yeah, and that's going to be more than likely the 4K2 coming through. Maybe a 4K3, depending on what the survivors decide to do. We do see Smokey getting picked up, which means that there's likely only one person working gens on the top side of the map here. So for Boosted to confirm this 4K3, all he would really need to do is to hook Nolzy and then go towards the top side. And then he should be able to confirm it, provided that you slug our Deliverance player here, and then we go down to the bottom side, and then we try and play the best we can.
Yeah, and we actually see someone was doing the gen there. We saw Smokey opting to leave there. We see both. Oh, we actually saw the Rancor value. So coming in, we see that no one's. Sorry, we see that someone's on main, and we obviously know where Smokey is. We're just opting to take that chase there. So we've got full value, full vision, sorry, of all the survivors right now as we opt to take the chase onto Smokey. We'll be getting quite a quick down here, I assume, as Smokey does go down there, and we're going to try and head back to hook and stop it. They do get off though, but we might opt to try and get a quick down onto M here.
Yeah, but I'm not exactly sure if the slug is really the play here. Like, yes, you can go back, yes, you can go for this slug, but alternatively, you are risking losing that 1 point because of the bleed out on Smokey, which I don't think is necessary given the position we're in. Nolzy doing a bit more BM again, obviously nice to see our players having fun, as Boosted gets stuck by the character hitbox on the corner of Shaq here.
Yeah, it looks like we weren't able to make those two quick connections onto Nosy as we take the chase. We saw him hiding in that four wall. We're going to try and get back on him. Ooh. And we get a very, very nice down there, as we know that M is the last survivor up is injured. Looks like we will be finally taking these hooks here and seeing if we can get some Hangman's value. Looks like we do. We see M topside.
That was an absolutely brutal blink on Nosey there through the tile, blinking through about 3 walls and landing directly on him. That was a hard read, and you love to see that kind of thing from Nurse. Now with the Hangman's trick, Boosted heading towards the top side to try and track M down and secure a 4K at 2 generators remaining on his Nurse here.
Well, looks like we actually saw... Oh, she was doing the top gen, trying to get a sneaky gen in before the game ended, but looks like we will be ending on a 4K2 in favor of Inertia here. Really well played. We see the Firecracker go down. Doesn't really give us much value there. And we get the nodders coming in from Boosted, signifying that, yes, it's very much likely a 4K2. Really well played. Really well played by Boosted there.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing Boosted needs to watch out for here is a potential deliverance from M here. Now we know Nolsey, if Nolsey does bleed out because of the first hook onto him, will not be any points lost for the killer. So the only real danger here would be if M deliverances and somehow gets to the hatch or the exit gates. But I think that the chances of that are pretty slim.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there. It's very difficult to get out of this situation. I'm really not see how you do it. And there it is. We find Nolsey on the ground there. Looks like we are actually aware of M because she was the first to unhook onto Yobro there. So we're pretty much waiting for the deli. And yeah, Boosted knows it as well. He's just kind of chilling around, waiting for M's unhook to proc.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously going to use it as late as possible so that Nolsey can bleed out and they can maybe go for the hatch. That's why I'm a little surprised to see Smokey still holding on the hook here. Boosted just decides, I don't care, I'm going to pick up anyway. Use your deliverance if you can. But I don't think that she has it. I think that if she had it, she would have used it the moment the pickup came through. So this here is suggesting to me that maybe Yobro went down too fast and there's no deliverance in play. Yeah, as we see the second stage come through.
Yeah, I think it would have been just a second as well, a second or two before that Deli was going to proc, because we saw that he got that live proc, then ran back around and did get down pretty quickly there. So really rough for Copium here. Not exactly the start of the nurse set you want 4K2, but regardless, we'll be seeing them come back in just a few minutes as they try to turn things around on their killer side. So as we head back into the intermission, we'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to Game 4 of today, where we are going to be seeing Inertia will be moving over to Survivor to try and protect their 2-0, which they are aiming for here in Copium. Just trying to stay alive as they gave a 4K2 result last game. It's not exactly what you want as you're heading into your Nurse set as Survivor, but regardless, we'll be seeing Green Dean on the Nurse here, going to try and get a 4K3 to win, 4K2 to tie. So we do see the survivors loading in here, and Green Dean on the Nurse heading straight towards bottom. Does find a survivor very quickly though, so this is very good for him being able to get an instant chase. It looks like we've actually, I do believe this is boosted. I can't quite see yet. And no, we're just following some scratch marks here. Not exactly sure. It is boosted. Okay, we do see boosted heading towards the top side of the map. Tries to dodge a hit here. Will be giving one away though. Very difficult to get out of this circumstance here.
Boosted just heading towards the corner on 11 here. We see this one gen corrupted here. This suggests the survivors are probably stacking a gen towards the 4 side of the map. Great pathing there with Boosted, being able to dodge out that blink from Green Dean, and now we see maybe the activation of a Lithe going towards the corner again. Boosted is completely gone though with the lucky break. Green Dean having a lot of trouble tracking here, but Gearhead does give away Universe here, who is running towards this jungle gym and playing the top mid section of the map there.
It's very similar to last game, as we actually see the first hit coming in onto a survivor, and we opt to take the chase onto somebody else. It looks like we did see the young Jin here for just a second, but we do decide to opt to take the chase on her as she heads towards 12. We'll be getting that first vision blink. Second blink will not connect. It was very close, but wasn't able to make that swing. Are we going to try and one blink her? No, we're not. We're opting to just get the safety blinks ready as we see the young Jin. Oh no! Oh, we see Green Dean with the miss.
Yeah, this is not what Green Dean needs here. This is sort of a nightmare start where you did get your tag on boosted, but then the worst thing happens ever. You lose them with Lucky Break. I've been there 100 times before. And now we see the follow-up down coming with Gearhead giving some value, which might allow us to get the tag here onto Quinfrid, who is now going to have to try and path as far away from main building as possible so he does not die on these active generators.
It looks like we're going to try and get this quick down onto Quinford here. We might be able to actually instead opt to go for Cooney, who will be going down there. I do believe we actually saw another injured survivor nearby. We decided not to go for that. We're just going to opt to go for the hook. Try and get our Pop Goes the Weasel value going. And we're also running Dying Light as well, so it would be nice to get some early hooks here.
Yeah, the survivors are doing the right play here. They're going for resets, recognizing that they can't have two people injured and someone on a hook in this kind of position. Green Dean actually checking the wrong generator, though. I think that even though you know this is popped, there's no reason to go to 11 when you have main on such high progress as a juicy pop target here that he is now neglecting.
Yeah, this is very huge for Green Dean here, as we did see a gen actually pop in the background beforehand. Looks like we are going to get pop value on mid, and everyone on the opposing team has fully reset. Now they are aiming for a 4k1 here, so still 3 gens to go for the survivors to pull out the win. But we do see Green Dean opting just to kind of look around top side, wants to see if he can find a survivor. Getting onto a good chase would be really nice. Looks like we might be proxying Cooney second here.
Yeah, Green Dean really needs to get at least a trade for this hook. More realistically, he needs the second stage. So if he strays too far and they are able to snipe the save, it's over. Green Dean, knowing that, is now going to go back and deny any chance of a potential snipe on the save. Exactly what he has to do here, but I still think he's too far behind on the gens.
Looks like we see Cooney does go to second there, so we have achieved our mini goal of making sure that we do have a confident tunnel out. We do go for a hit on this shallow gen here near main, as we're going to try to see if we can opt to get a free hit on this survivor, or we are just holding in case Cooney gets off hook so we can head straight back. But no, it looks like we find boosted out of position. We'll be taking a quick hit there. Looks like he was running 12, and we may opt to go straight back for unhook here.
That's exactly what he did. You do see the save coming through. He needs to really secure a trade here. Oh, he does get the trade. That's exactly, again, what Green Dean needed. And now when we see Quinford going down, Cooney probably going to take a very quick tunnel option. This chase has to be fast so that you can get the down, you can get the kill, and then you can go and try and slug boost it here, leave Quinford on the floor, and end up getting the pressure you need to get a 4k2.
Yeah, we're just really relying on these quick chases here, trying to keep up that immense amount of pressure, but we see a gen popping in the background, and it's boosted, completes his own gen as well. We are now sitting on the Tycon. Still possible for Green Dean to keep this set alive, or keep the series alive, should I say. As Cooney is eliminated here, we are turning the game into a 3v1 as Quinford is still on the floor.
Yeah, Green Dean here sees Quinford getting picked up. That is 99% chance universe, while boosted will be working that gen on 11, which is so hard to defend and so difficult for Green Dean here, as it's extremely far away from all of the other generators. And we do see the last gen popping, universe going back. That will be 4 gens completed and the series win for Inertia here.
Yeah, really well played by Inertia here, just being able to keep up the immense gen pressure, even as they were getting blasted on Cooney beforehand, but it was really, really well played. But regardless, we're going to see the game play out. Does go for the medium vault there, and Quinford will be taking the quick down and getting that free unhook onto the 12 side. The question is, can they actually get some outs in this game?
I think that given the gen split they have, they're always going to get outs. Green Dean nodding, he understands it. That gen on 4 and the gen on 11 are just too far away. It's going to be so difficult to defend these, and I realistically don't think even a nurse with this sort of position would be able to do that. Even with the 3 stacks of Dying Light, Universe will not be affected by those, and the generators should just be far too fast here.
Okay, I think to look edge map, we do see boosted taking a quick hit there. We saw Quinford with the insta unhook coming in from the universe there. Boosted running back around to Green Dean. Will be taking a quick hit here as we decide to take the down in main, and not really what you want there, but still, you've already met the win con. You're very happy with the situation you're in. You don't mind going to next game. You've already won the series, which means that Inertia, I do believe they'll be versing Silence, not next, possibly the week after. I'm not sure that it's next week or the week after, but next, yeah, the next series will be against Silence.
Yeah, that's correct. So as we're sort of wrapping up this game here, I mean, there's obviously still a lot to play for here, but with a good stealth here, Green Team won't be able to find anyone. What do you think that both teams should take out of this match? So, how should Inertia prepare for their next game against Silence, and what do you think Copium can do to recover from this and try and have a bit of a loser's bracket run?
Yeah, it's really hard for Copium because going up against a killer like Boosted, who just puts so much intense pressure, especially in those early games. Like there are a couple of situations where I definitely thought, oh, that was a Boosted's perk really helping him. Like that Rancor moment, that was something that sometimes you can't really plan for that. You know, it's very difficult to assume, oh, they're running Rancor. Oh, one of us got seen because of it, you know. So there are some things like that which are really rough, but yeah, it's hard because I can't hear the team comms as well. So it's that is a big part of it. But yeah, it's really difficult to tell. But you know, in Inertia, really just got to keep up that early game pressure that he, especially Boosted, was able to pull out during both games. Able to just keep up such strong early game presence and really just carry it all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, we see chances for Green Team to maybe 4K this. We know that Boosted is splitting with Universe, but with the down coming through on Quinfred, I don't think either gen is quite high enough to pop yet. We know that 4 will probably be about 50, the gen on main maybe 30 or 40 by now. So I think that Green Team, with the fast tunnel out on Quinfred, with the early unhook, might actually be able to get a 4K after all here. Yeah, we see this about 60 now. Universe smartly pre-leaving. Boosted working 11. I think if Green Team finds Universe here, there is a chance, but if not, it's looking like probably out.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, both survivors are healthy, and the gen split is very huge, but gonna have to see a pretty dismal chase from one of them to see no outs here. It looks like we do have some fair bit of progress on this gem up at 11 side that we do believe that's about 75. We're going to take the hit onto it as our 6 stages of Dying Light. Not helping us too much with Universe here. It is slowing Boosted down a little bit though, so hopefully we can get some value out of that as we're just trying to look around, see if we can find a survivor.
Yeah, we see the brutality of stealth when the gens are this far apart. There's basically no option that Green Team really has to be able to find people because of how easily you can pre-leave when the gens are this split. So we do actually see Boosted here on Divers 10, Green Team Season 2. No, that's actually Universe here, so maybe I got the players the other way around. But even then, even with Universe going down here, it's more than likely going to be enough time for Boosted to pop that gen on 4, even with the Dying Line in play.
Looks like we do see Universe taking a quick hit there. We'll be taking the chase towards the 2-siders. We're going to try and avoid giving an early hit, but no, we will be taking the down here as the gen actually procs in the background. We're going to try and hook Universe and see if we can quickly take the chase onto Boosted and get the 4K at 0 here.
Yeah, very smart to pick up Universe there, knowing that you haven't seen an Unbreakable in play here. That's probably Universe with, I believe, the SB, so Green Team not taking the risk there, and now is going to go towards that door on 8 to try and stop Boosted from playing the gates in the hatch. Unfortunately, I think all Boosted really needs to do is wait for the hatch to open and then try and position himself on the top side gate, and there's very little Green Team can do here. Yep, great patience. We actually see the unhook coming through. Very interesting there, but that is also going to do the same thing. It's going to guarantee that at least someone gets out of this trial.
Yeah, it's very easy for them just to perform a split. One person goes bottom, one can stay top. It doesn't really matter who he goes for here. The other person will likely be getting out of the trial as he doesn't see anyone at the hook. Pretty unlikely that someone's stealthing around this area. Possibly they would have already made their way towards the 12 gate on their side. Yeah, it looks like if someone was stealthing, I assume they would be closer to this gate.
Yeah, it's always tough though. Like the problem is that with the unhook coming through and now being unable to find someone, we could be in a position where both survivors get out. Because realistically, if Boosted can just play very slow, get one of the gates open, and then use his light to try and make it towards the other one. We do see lights on the gate. I don't think Green Team did though. Yeah, Green Team missed those lights, and now I imagine that there should be escapes coming out very soon. We see someone working this. Yeah, that's
still on the gate. Yeah, very easy for Universe to head down now. Could even finish this gate if he was nearby. It's very, very unlikely, but yeah, very easy for Universe to get out of this situation. Boosted, trying to have a decent chase, possibly trying to shake Green Team here. If we can, we actually might be able to get the out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's taking Universe so long to get on that door at this point, but maybe he's 99ing it, I think. But nah, we see the gate being opened at last there. But with Boosted now stealthing so successfully, the hatch is in play and Green Dean knows it. I think this is more than likely going to be an 8-stage 2K result. So a valiant effort, but not quite the 4K2 that he needed to tie up the set.
No, definitely not. But we do see Inertia pulling out the win there, so they will be the... Oh, okay, we're actually going to try and see Boosted go for the escape. It does get the dead hard, and he's able to leave.
Oh, that was a good DH there. Green Dean just being a little bit too rushed there. Really well played by Boosted, and that is indeed going to be the 2K8. Well played by both teams. Our next matchup is going to be a thriller between Catjam and J-Duck, two teams who have been around for quite a while.